I'm James Cridland, the radio futurologist. Last week I was at Podcast Movement in Orlando in Florida. Did you miss me? Well, it's the largest podcast event in the world, I think, with a variety of tracks covering almost everything you need to know about podcasting, and the event grows each year. Podcasting is increasingly serious business, with both Spotify and Google on the show floor this year, and Pandora also being very visible throughout. Apple were at the event too, but in an invite-only super secret session, only for the elite few. And guess what? I'm not in the elite few. I mean, arguably, they don't need to remind podcasters that they exist, though Spotify is being strong competition for them. I bumped into Brad Milkey, who's the host of the US's Start Here podcast from ABC News, and he's clearly happy and excited about the work he's doing, and excited most of all about the production value that the post-produced nature of podcasting can bring over and above radio. You can convey more with sound, he says, than just a straight back and forth interview. And there were plenty of learnings too. Martina Castro, CEO of a Spanish-language podcast company called Adonde Media, said to me during a panel that 50% of Spanish-speaking podcast listeners are listening to English content. So there's plenty of space for international growth, it seems. And that international growth was seen later in the conference as podcast producer Wondery told us that their hit podcast Dr. Death had been launched in many different languages, including Korean, Spanish, Portuguese, German, French, and others. And as I write this, they appear to have hit the top of the charts in virtually all of those countries. Podcasting's certainly growing up while retaining its young charm. While big business is certainly involved, including US radio's largest broadcasters, it's also a place where small independent podcasters still have a shot at making a hit podcast in their spare room. There's really nothing else like Podcast Movement, so the organisers are planning 2 events next year, the main event in Dallas next August and an event earlier in the year in Los Angeles. The podcast world is one we can all learn from, I think, as podcasters large and small get together to share best practices and invest in each other, and at a time when many US radio conferences have lost their excitement and enthusiasm, there's much to learn from what the podcasters are up to. You can get my newsletter at james.crid.land and daily podcast news at podnews.net, which is why I was there. And until next time, keep listening.